Oh, the solo!
No, the solo is Joe.
Oh, snap. Hold on. Guitar Hero? Oh, here's the taps.
Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another part of New Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans Discuss VRAINS. So if you're new to this segment, these are three real-life friends of mine. They're not hired actors that I paid all of this.
Disclaimer.
No, they're three real-life friends of mine. We've done this a few times. They have never really seen, they've actually never seen a subbed Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime before, and none of them have seen anything past GX, Nick T, and then very little bits and pieces of the original for Cal and Pete. But if you guys want to reintroduce yourselves, go right ahead.
All right, I'm Cal.
I'm Nick T. I guess.
So we haven't done one of these in a while. I actually don't know what episodes it'll be up to, but everyone here has seen up to episode 42, which is the episode that aired this past weekend. I'm very excited to hear your guys' thoughts of it. A lot of death has happened in the last 8, 9, 10 episodes. I don't even know where to begin. I guess through 42 episodes, it seems like the first arc. Next time we do one of these, the first arc probably will almost definitely be over. So
we have to do one at the end of the next, before the next.
Yeah, we should try to do one. Yeah, we should.
We haven't, I think, all been together on one of these videos since like episode 21, 22.
I feel like it was like 28, 29. We did the Hunger Games one after the Emma revolver.
No,
duel.
because the three of you did that.
Oh,
one.
you're
I
right.
wasn't here.
You're right. We haven't had a full cast in about
it's
20
been a while.
Once I'm home from school in like 2 months, hopefully this
Everything
will happen
changes.
a lot more, like once a month, which was the original plan. But yeah, so through 42 episodes, you guys have now seen everything. With the first arc, it looks like it's coming to an end.
Absolutely.
Also, they don't know anything beyond past the 43 preview. I know we have the 43 and 44 summaries.
Yeah, we don't
Oh,
do
you do?
spoilers.
And the 45 and 46
Yeah, we don't do
titles. They don't know anything about that so far. So we're coming to an end. What do you guys think of the first arc, generally speaking?
Dark, really dark.
Did you expect that from a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime coming into it?
No, well, so I know from the past, like at least from what you told me, like it has gotten really dark before. But as far as first arc goes, like usually it kind of like they ease you into it.
Yeah.
But this like especially like towards the end here with a lot of Spectre stuff, like it's dark. It's really dark.
is.
It's awesome though.
He's
Yeah.
a homie.
What do you?
I love that
I know
man.
you love Spectre.
love that
Spectre
man.
has been a fan favorite of many. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I definitely have not seen a Yu-Gi-Oh show that like I would have never predicted that it would be dark like this. So that's been a nice change of pace. I kind of like that kind of stuff. So it's been great. I like the characters. I like my villains, as people know. So seeing Spectre, Revolver, is kind of people, even Konami, I guess to an extent, is really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't expect it to be that dark, but I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's cool. I don't like Spectre as much as Pete does, but
That's because you don't appreciate all the suffering he's had in his life.
raised
raised
him and
by a
Howie are
tree.
basically the same
Man
character.
was raised. This man was raised by an oak tree, bro.
That's what,
suffering.
that's a really good point.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll bring it up later.
All right, yeah.
So what didn't you really love about Spectre? Because Spectre was going to be my next point of topic. 'Cause he's
good.
a character
okay.
that was so focused on between episodes 32 when he got introduced, defeating Kitamura, turning him into Data,
Sure.
then the duel against Blue Angel.
Probably best moment of the
That was a great moment. I don't think
Finally.
no one
We've been
felt bad
waiting
for
for it.
Kitamura.
Yeah, that
we've
moved
been
him
waiting
up,
for it
though,
for a
for
while.
sure.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So what did you not like so much? What did you what were your thoughts about Spectre? Because he was a very big character these last 5 or 10 episodes.
I kind of feel like he proved himself as sort of a villain. Like, I mean, yeah, as a villain in these past few episodes. Like, he had that the encounter with Aoi originally where he gave her the virus, and that was dark. And then he disappeared for a while. But like this time around, he kind of proves himself as a good like villain or like henchman because he puts Aoi down and like says the word calls her pathetic probably about a dozen times, and like really he's badass and it's sweet. His backstory is vague and cool, like being raised by a tree. Which, like, I don't know.
Is it vague though?
Yes,
or
because
is it nature raised him.
Yeah, like I mean, is it a metaphor? Like, did a tree actually
No,
raise
I
him?
think a tree really raised him.
You think the tree was life?
Yes,
Like,
like I think that's
But, like,
exactly what
I
happened.
think it could have
How if he got raised by a tree? I was thinking about this just like a second ago. How did he get the book that he also read as a child?
Well, he eventually
Well,
went to an orphanage.
he went to an orphanage.
Oh, eventually.
Yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
guess
right.
that's true.
But also,
like,
if we were to say he wasn't to an orphanage, books made out of wood,
Tree,
trees,
the-
boom, made the
Okay.
book.
the tree just printed
There
the
you go.
book
Yeah,
itself.
the
book,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, to be fair, he says in the episode, like, it's not that he was raised by it, but he felt comfort and survived within the tree until he was found. And even when he went there and came back after the whole testing thing and everything like that, and like the lost incident, when he comes back and he goes back right to the tree and it's chopped down. So then that's when he, like, his head goes...
He says
Wild.
He says when he talks about how the tree was chopped down, he goes, "Humans have their reasons." Do you
Yeah.
think that was like a little jab at like the deforestation issue? Do you think it was something that deep? Because I
somewhat.
feel like this show. I mean, we have
Sure.
AI. Why not? Right?
Yeah.
We have AIs. Just hear me out. We have AIs that, like, you know, are becoming lifelike and becoming human-like, which I think is a real concern
Like
for
Alexa.
a lot
Oh
of
my
us.
god, did you see
in
that
20 or
video where the
30
one
years.
opened a door like
Yeah.
last week?
Yeah. Was
Terrifying.
it Boston Dynamics?
Yeah,
Was that good?
it's horrifying.
Yeah, no,
I have to watch that.
I watched one.
No, you don't want to give you nightmares. It's like
No,
Skynet.
and literally in 20, 30 years, these are going to be, you know, you look at Ignis, and that's going to be a real thing. So I think that's actually like a real society thing.
If
that
they're
they're
as
tackling.
annoying as him, I don't even want to live in a world like
Yeah,
that.
no.
So.
Just end it now. But I just feel like they do minor jabs at like real social
Sure,
issues going
sure.
on.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe I was the only one who got that.
No, I see where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
didn't pick up on it, but when you say that again, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't think it's weird that he says humans have their reasons, like
As if he
he's
was
not
not-
a
yeah.
human? So, like, does he view himself as part of nature because he was raised by a tree and forest
Well,
animal?
I don't know.
I think he makes it pretty clear as like throughout the past couple episodes that he lacks a lot of the emotions that normal humans have. Where like
You sure?
he tell, yeah, well, I mean it's
He seems like a pretty normal dude.
like he's completely apathetic of anything. Like, you know, he tells Playmaker that, like, you know, he cares too much about people and that's you know gonna be his downfall
Yeah.
and so and you know he's completely unempathetic. So I think he doesn't relate to humans at all, or didn't. But
Yeah. I can agree.
That's also a good
That's
actor.
interesting, yeah.
When he, in the entire duel with Owie, he's like, "Oh no! Oh, that was such a good move. Your strategy is so great. Oh, just kidding.
Yeah.
By the way,
There was one card
rips
left,
the book
yeah.
in half, throws it at her. It's in flames, and
I
he's
know.
like, "Yeah, see ya."
Now we have to talk about it. I personally, there was a lot of backlash that Vrains received. Not a lot of backlash, but there was a decent amount that Vrains received about, again, female characters. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh! The fact that they killed off Emma and Blue Angel. They're only 2 females in a matter of 3 episodes. But I was actually, and I was someone who during Arc 5 spoke out very vivaciously and have spoken out. I mean, I wanted for Yu-Gi-Oh! 6.
Good vocabulary.
Thank you, vivaciously. I wanted a female protagonist for you. I
Sure,
still think
absolutely.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Should have a female protagonist to kind of break that shonen barrier. We don't really see too many shonens with female protagonists, and we just haven't had throughout the entirety of a Yu-Gi-Oh! A really strong female character. But I was someone who I thought I defended Blue Angel, and I wanted your takes on it. Where I thought Blue Angel was a character who, next to Playmaker at the time, had the second most amount of wins on the show, had a decent amount of screen time, and even though, yes, she was in a coma early on, and yes, she got defeated by Spectre and really humiliated with the way her body landed on the
Yeah,
ground.
that face plant,
that
brutal.
was brutal. I still felt like she's been written well to this point, and when she does
Sure.
come back, which I'm sure she will after the
I
whole
mean,
tower
Yusaku
finale.
just did, and Revolver just did. I mean, maybe because it was a draw, but if they came back to the real world, I'm sure they're not Akira.
Exactly.
And
They'll come back.
They'll
at
be
some
back.
point.
gone.
She's
Yeah,
gonna be back.
and so in 20 episodes, probably less than that, she'll be back. And to me, if she's written well from this point on, I still think even if she's not, I still think she's been a pretty good character thus far. But would you guys
Absolutely.
agree or disagree? And how do you feel about the 2 females getting killed off so quickly? And
I mean, I think the only criticism I have is that there were only 2 females. The fact that it was
Right,
two
right.
females that got killed off, a lot of people have gotten killed off. You know, about what 5,
6 characters.
yeah, like you know. So I don't think it's fair to say like, well, why just the 2 females? Because it wasn't just them.
You're right.
But the fact there are only 2 of them makes it seem worse than it is, which is fair. I think there should be more female characters. but that's just how it.
So you didn't really have an issue with it?
No.
Blue Angel. Okay.
No, I mean she's been great until then,
I think she's been awesome, yeah.
It's not like she was like cannon fodder. Like she wasn't like she didn't die for the sake of it. Like I feel like she was important up until now. Still important. Like I think it's she wasn't just poorly written and written to die.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the only downside to what they've done with Aoi was the fact that this is the second time she gets put in the coma the first time. Now she gets turned into Data, and it's like, you assume she's going to be back in a decently short amount of time, but at the same time, we didn't think she was going to be in a coma for, 20 episodes?
I think it was only 5.
Yeah,
it felt like...
It felt like a long time.
Okay. It wasn't that long, though.
But it
wasn't
felt
as long
like
as
a long time.
Spectre was missing.
Yeah. It was only about, I think, 6 episodes at the end of the day. But yeah.
But like,
Might have felt longer.
it's 6 episodes there. It could be another 6 episodes. And like, for like Ghost Girl, she was in basically every single one up until she was taken off.
It's true.
But at least now you're starting to see like, okay, maybe she's not gone for good either, the way it's starting to play out.
Yeah.
But I agree that maybe there should be more female like characters, but at the same time, it's like, it's not like it's a ridiculous like barely showing any of the female characters that are in it or anything like that. And there was also the other someone who I guess we thought was going to be bigger, like the one that was the nurse that was also in the
Vyra.
Like we thought she was going to have a bigger part, but like her and the other guy really didn't have enough.
Gnome and Faust.
All three of them.
They were
like,
all gone in like 2 episodes.
Within 2 episodes.
And hopefully they come back, because I thought they were interesting characters.
I think definitely...
Gnome, if anything,
Vyra,
I think will be back.
I think Vyra and Faust have a better chance because they hinted to some sort of deeper
parenting of Revolver.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Oh, I didn't. Was it? I guess it was hinted towards it being Revolver because there's the 2 of them and there was the head of some
right
child.
I'm pretty sure we can assume it was Revolver.
It could have been, but like I feel like they hinted to too much there for them to just be in and out like that.
Right.
So, but I agree with that.
Well, with Blue Angel, I mean, I like, or I guess liked, that she's not a paper thin character. So, like, I like that she has this, like, depression element to her. I like that she has her own kind of fiery spirit to her, where she goes against her brother and what he's saying and fighting in the brains. So all that stuff was cool. And then, all right, she's dead, seemingly, but she's going to be back. And I haven't had a problem with how they've treated the female characters. I mean, I'm still sad about Emma, but,
I know, you love Emma.
For another video.
A lot of people loved Emma,
But I don't feel like, at this point, you had 2 strong female characters. They're both gone, but as Nick T said, a lot of people are gone now. With Go gone and a whole bunch of inspectors and everybody else.
He had to go.
I don't feel like... the puns are still there.
Before I knew it was coming.
But like, I don't feel like they're focusing on like they're purposely and viciously attacking female characters. I feel like right now we have these 2 female characters. They're gone. They'll probably be back, and there's going to be other characters who are also going to be females that are going to come into the show.
Yeah.
If you overpopulate the show by seemingly like having some kind of agenda of like, let's just shove as many female characters as we can, that's where I think it's like, well, then you don't spend time developing them. And I'd rather a couple good, well-developed female characters than 5 or 6 that are paper thin and I don't care about.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I think at the risk of sounding overly like political about it, I feel like this series of Yu-Gi-Oh has been far more progressive than previous. Like
I agree.
Within such a short amount of time, I mean that's been 40 episodes or so. First arc, we've had way more not way more, but like with the 2 female characters we got, I've been stronger, better written than I think any other female characters in the first arcs of any other shows.
Yeah,
like, Taya was great in Duel Monsters, but
what she was
wasn't
a sideline
terribly,
motivator.
Exactly.
Yeah, she wasn't a duelist.
And
My Valentine was okay as well.
Yeah, and then GX,
GX, you only had Alexis.
That's it.
And
so
the
like,
one I always think about is Arc 5, when
Arc
they
5.
were all like mind controlled.
Yeah, Arc 5 was a
little.
little opposite, where towards the end, I don't know what the hell happened with them, but early on, Yuzu was a great female lead.
True.
But yeah,
I just think they're setting a good precedent here, so I don't think there's much to attack. I think that's a little ridiculous.
I agree.
I think also one of those 6 children looks like it's going to be a girl too. So that's another character. If it's not Aoi, that is also now another female lead that comes in that you're going to want to know backstory about and things like that.
Exactly. So they're I think they've done really well, not only with the female characters, but with a lot of the characters. The only character, say it on 3, that I think has maybe kind of failed to meet the bar. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, he's the only.
didn't even have to say it.
I
I knew it was
know.
coming.
He's the only one. But you know what?
Well, he had to go.
He was. I
Just
thought.
stop it.
I mean, what did you guys think? We had after the Spectre duels, we had him take on Revolver,
Right.
which was a complete mismatch.
Yes,
I mean,
no,
we
it
knew
did-
it had to be Revolver Playmaker, but I thought Go put up a really good fight.
Yeah.
He did.
I mean,
and again, like I think it was intentionally a mismatch because as Playmaker was like, oh, Matt, like this opened up. Oh, he knows how to tackle the fight with Revolver, so I get it made sense.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
like he was obviously gonna lose. It was,
yeah. The result wasn't in any doubt. I don't think anyone thought there was going to be any positive result for Go.
Yeah. No.
But we just wanted him to put up a good fight. He summoned a new Goki. He, even after the Mirror Force reveal, which was an amazing reveal. Well, I loved it, but I guess some people were disappointed by it that they hyped up a card for so long. But I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, I think Go will maybe be better in the next arc. But
yeah.
The problem with Go, I'm sorry.
No, you can go. You can
The
go.
problem with Go is that you gave him a great start of like, hey, he's tied to this orphanage, blah blah blah. That's a great starting point. But if you want to further dive into a character, you need to start peeling back more layers of the onion. And there's nothing else to that character but that. Like, it always cuts back to the orphanage and things like that. And that's great. And the picture falling and its symbolism when he goes out and it's all broken up. That's great and all. But you need more things to that.
Yeah.
You need even more development in the story of what it was like in the orphanage, how he got into this, how he was growing up to care more about the character. And that's where they're failing in that aspect.
yeah,
I would say with the exact like respect to you saying like him growing up and all that stuff, they did maybe a minute and 30 seconds at most of developing him when he first came on. Like, and you were like, all right, that's a good start. Like, it's a really good start. Like they showed him as a kid where he had the same head, but his body was like, this big. And he looked really weird as a kid because he had literally the same face, with, like the definition and
head.
everything.
It's like they didn't want to pay to like animate him.
Yeah, to animate him down to a
so they
child,
just
yeah.
put him on there.
And that was it. Like they showed him like playing around or whatever,
Yeah.
and then like showing him in the orphanage, and they're like, "Oh, that's why he's connected to the orphanage," because he was an orphan when he was younger. And then it's like, okay, back to what he was doing. He does it for entertainment.
I know.
But
I know.
it's like creating a character and being like, oh, he has this sympathetic element to him. His parents died in a car accident, like just hypothetically speaking.
Owie.
And then you never say anything about it again.
Yeah.
And you never develop anything else to the character. And then I'm supposed to care about that character when they duel. And it's like, all right, your parents are dead, but who else are you? It's like when you take Batman, right? It's not just, oh, his parents are dead as much as people want to make jokes. It's that you peel back the layers of the people that Bruce has brought into his life, the Robins he's had, what he knows what it's like to grow up as, an orphan, basically.
Yeah.
So he takes these kids in. Like, you add more dynamics to that character. If you're not doing that with Go, then people are not going to be interested.
There's no reason to care.
Well, and that's why I thought Akira was phenomenally
That's-
done.
yeah.
To take the example of the
But-
parents being killed,
yeah.
and they show a 6, 7, maybe not that long, a montage of him, what he had to go through, and so you care about him, and in turn you care about Aoi too, because then you understand what she went through. She was a little younger, so she didn't remember it probably as well. But
There's more to that story anyway.
I think there is,
there's absolutely more.
especially with now the mystery that there could be a connection with Aoi and the Lost Incident, because we have that blue Ignis from the very first episode, the only female one who had dual pigtails, just like
Blue Angel.
young Aoi did.
Oh, young out.
And now, also the color scheme is very similar, blue.
Yes.
And then in that picture we see, it's blurry where you see all these 6 characters.
Yeah.
And
That's
we
the
see
only
a
one you can really
girl,
make out,
the only
yeah.
girl with 2 pigtails. So what the hell's going on there? So that's why if Aoi is also connected to that incident, that's a whole nother thing that we can get to with Aoi, which
Yeah.
mean she
I
could
don't know
be.
if I love
Yeah, I don't know
that.
if I love it too, because I think Aoi is going to be strong no matter what. People are saying that if it's not Aoi, she's going to be tossed to the side for this other female character, which I don't think will be the case, because Aoi and Emma, I think, co-balanced each other really well.
Yeah.
I think adding another female into the mix is fine. It's basically just like adding another character into the mix. But I mean, I think that if she is involved, I think it's almost concrete that she's going to be one of the best female characters written. But you wouldn't.
I don't know if I love that.
So-
it's just when you tie.
Of course, it's all speculation.
When
It's
you
all
tie
speculation.
everything back to one event of like every character we met, they're also tied to this incident.
Yeah.
And, like that stuff kind of annoys me. And like, I mean, again, as I make a million references when we
Star
do
Wars.
these videos. No, I actually
Oh.
Star Wars is a good one. I was thinking of the Flash too, like where everything in like one of the seasons, I think it was season 3, is like connected to an event that Barry causes, which is Flashpoint.
Sure.
Every single wrong thing that happens is all because he did this thing. That gets old after a while.
Yeah.
So if you do this, where like, all right, here's the Lost Incident, here's all these characters, and every single character is somehow connected to this. It's like, well, I understand that these are the characters we're following, so they have to connect to the show, but like, I want something different.
Yeah, my problem would be, along with that, is just, I feel like there would be some inconsistency. They would have to explain why Aoi doesn't remember this
And
incident.
why Akira wouldn't
and why
know.
Akira wouldn't know, who worked in Soul
Or
Tech.
if he does, did he cover it up to his own sister?
Right, but
that.
Aoi would still, Aoi still should remember 6 months of torture the same way Jin and Playmaker do. And then some people will say, oh, maybe they wiped Aoi's mind. Well, then why didn't they wipe Yusaku's mind? Playmaker never would have been born if they wiped Yusaku's mind.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
At
of...
the very least, he had
that's
flashbacks of those things.
Yeah,
So if
and he
not
was
for
in
that-
therapy right after, so it's not like he
They
remembered
would have
later
to
in
do
his life
a lot of
of
unwinding
covering
of
up,
that story,
and that would be
somehow,
very
like
tight.
maybe connected to her depression of like maybe she's sad because she can't remember what it was, so like just subconsciously it's like a lost
Eating
part
away
of
at her.
herself is
Yeah.
gone. So like you would have to do something like that to make that work.
I have
Yeah.
a weird theory on it also.
Well, we love theories.
Well, yeah, of course. But like, as like Zaizen's character, right, is like protect Aoi at all costs.
Of course.
What if he figured out a way to wipe her memory and did it only to her because he
To
obviously
protect her.
didn't know the other kids to protect her, and then like her first real memory is her parents dying in the car accident, which is why she was so depressed.
That'd be crazy.
Because-
That's possible.
That's probably
That's
the best.
possible,
That's
right?
probably the best way to.
Because like
to
Yeah.
do something
she
like
comes out like almost a clean slate where she sits there and it's her brother reading the book, right? So she always remembers Blue Angel and she always remembers her parents' car accident. Those are the two like striking memories in her head that always get
cornerstones of it,
referenced,
yeah.
right? Like everything
That's not
is like
bad.
my brother protects me because my parents are dead. The Blue Angel is what I aspire to be to bring happiness when I was so alone, basically.
And that's also why Akira was so hell bent on risking everything to go
and
into the data
doesn't
bank.
want her to go
And doesn't
in
want
the brains
to
ever
remember.
because doesn't want her to even have
Find
like a
out.
flashback
Wow.
of her dueling.
I hope
Maybe
that's
that
right.
would that's
Pretty
actually
good.
a
That's actually
memory.
pretty good, and it also
pretty good.
adds layers to Akira's character because
Yeah.
then you create a lot of tension between him and Aoi. assuming
If
that
she
they both come
figured it
back.
out,
because
right?
then it would be like, wow, what gave you the right to do this to
Exactly.
me? So like that could be really interesting. Oh, I did it to protect you, yeah, but it was not your responsibility. Like, so you could have a real cool
Well,
dynamic
because like
there.
in their whole dynamic is kind of like that, where she's like, stop trying to overprotect me,
Yeah.
like let me be myself. Like that's the kind of the way she was starting to go towards. And like after he finally realizes, like, you know what, you can go in there, you can, you know what, do what you have to do. I'm always here for you, but like I can't make your decisions.
Sure.
And so she kind of gains his trust. He starts to trust her. Everything's good because now he's thinking, maybe in this theory, she'll never even think about what I did because she doesn't have any recollection. She's not connected to it in her mind. She doesn't know. But if someone like Spectre, how he says he knew Yusaku was in it, but also how many times has Playmaker referenced it in all of his duels? Spectre only had to watch one to figure it out. Revolver could have just told him.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of reasons how he could have figured it out.
Definitely.
Like,
Sure.
because he always references the lost incident, and that's what everybody calls it. Obviously, Spectre knows, okay, you're calling it the lost incident. What a coincidence. I was there too. Like, and none of them maybe saw the other kids, but he's only saying, I knew that was you because you talk about the lost incident. Or the way you talk in threes is the same way Revolver does. But
That would make sense because Revolver would definitely know if Aoi was involved or not.
But he wouldn't say anything.
Or maybe
I
he
don't
wouldn't
think.
say anything. Yeah. Wow. That is. I like that a lot.
I think that'd be actually really interesting. You can get some good character development.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. if
And
they do go
also,
that route.
the sad thing is, you can really support Akira in the sense of not wanting Aoi always to fight. I mean, she's been in a coma, now she's dead.
I
you
know.
kinda support where
We're never
she's
leaving
going
the
well.
house again.
I know. Well, that's the thing. And like, but the other thing is, and I've said it so many times when people are like, "Oh, Akira's horrible. I hate Akira." But like,
I think he's
say
one of the
that.
most interesting
I agree.
characters on the show.
I completely agree. He's my favorite character, and I think like he's someone who didn't have any emotional support growing up, and he was traumatized when he was 16 to lose his parents, and so the fact that he can't give Blue Angel emotional support makes complete sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's the most likable character, but I think
No,
he's the
no.
most easy. He's the easiest character to sympathize
a
with.
noble character,
Like you can
selfless.
see, like, wow, I really see his intentions. I see like what he wants, and like it's good.
You don't agree with my?
To me, I think him and Yusaku, and that's why I like Akira as well, are the two gray characters of the show. Where
Okay.
they necessarily don't, they tend to side on the side of good, but they'll do some messed up stuff if they have to.
They have their own agenda.
And especially if you end up with a
by
theory
it.
like Calibro just had, Akira is willing to cross that line.
Well, Emma is the queen of gray. I would say Emma's more gray.
I don't even know if she's necessarily gray. I push her more to the kind of bad side. She
okay,
does
I would
things
agree.
She's the hired gun.
She's the hired gun.
Yeah.
She's the mercenary.
I'd agree with
she
that.
She might do a good thing time again if it benefits her, or this or that, or maybe she had a thing for Yusaku kind of thing. I'm still shipping that, but
I think she had more
Emma
thing
and
for-
Akira.
Yeah.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
see. That's my ship.
But there's something along those lines where that's why I like Akira and Yusaku, and why I like Yusaku as a main character is that he's gray, and
Yeah.
I want them to continue into this next season or arc or whatever it's called on Yukio. Like they need to continue with that. If they make him like super noble, good, does things all the time, that ruins everything about his character.
Yeah, I agree. I
Well,
agree.
his character's all based off of, I have an agenda, I'm going to complete my goal, and I don't really care what gets in the way or who gets in the way.
Selfish, just like Akira,
It's
right?
selfish, but he also he has his moments of caring about other people, but his way of it is don't get involved. I don't want to get you involved. Not be safe. You know what I mean? He's
Definitely.
when they're we're not leaving, and then he's like, do what you want.
It's
Because,
more like
yeah,
he doesn't
don't
want
get
the
in my
responsibility.
way, so you can't be used as collateral damage against me.
Yeah, because
Just like Akira
it puts
was.
me at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And he respects them. When they for instance, when Go loses and he's like, it's up to you.
Yeah.
He respects the effort he put forth. But really, what Go did was open up Playmaker's eyes to kind of how Revolver's gonna duel. So that's what he says.
Yeah.
He's not thanks to you for being so great and valiant. It's thanks to you, I now know his dueling strategy.
And it's not like, hey, I'm going to honor your sacrifice.
Yeah, no.
It's more like, hey, thanks for doing me a solid that I saw this guy's
thanks for
playbook.
giving me this
Peace.
this
Like,
game
yeah.
film on
It's also
on in here so that I can know what to come going up against.
I think that's the best part. He's pragmatic, he's humorless, and I think that all together makes him a
he also
good
does
villain.
save the kid in the I don't remember which episode it is. The little kid that pretends to be Playmaker and he goes to attack Yamamoto and the pigeon, and he's you guys are Knights of Hanoi, stop right there, and they just start crying, and they're oh, this little kid's trying to protect the brains, and then he almost gets blown to smithereens, but Playmaker saves him.
Yeah.
Speaking of those guys, I feel like
we always talk about them.
not that it was.
Check out of the
I
video.
feel like saying it's what I'm about to say. I feel like saying it's tasteless is a bit of a stretch, but to add them in the moment that Aoi gets completely knocked out, right before she face plants, they have them freaking doing their panic thing.
Yeah.
That's funny, and then all of a sudden she's face planting. I'm like,
it's a weird...
why?
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Why?
Well, some really big Blue Angel fans, some really big Aoi fans said that it was completely wrong the way that they had her die compared to everyone else and her lose, because Go lost very nobly and Spectre lost pretty nobly.
That
could
go back to the
even-
female.
And then
Guys
Blue
like
Angel
eyes,
and
though,
Emma
nobly.
died even decently. Emma got smashed against the wall, and Blue Angel,
How do they pronounce it in the show? Is it Gnome?
Gnome.
Gnome. Kind of he's skid across the floor, but he didn't face plant.
Well, Faust also a little brutally, but Vira was a little more pleasant.
She's definitely the most brutal so far.
Yeah. I mean, her
That
neck crack. Ugh.
that reminded me of again another reference in Doctor Strange when when the Ancient One falls all the way down and just smacks the ground. It was that exact thing where I immediately thought I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Overly brutal. And
Yeah.
that was,
But I like how it's in those two moments, in the movie and then in the show here, it's just silence. It hits the ground and then just
What?
and
so it's
Spectre's maniacal
wow,
laugh.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think
All
that
right,
was
dude.
definitely. I mean, the face plant in general is unnecessary. But
Is it though?
Yes, it was.
I felt like
not
if
only-
he went over and maybe rubbed her face in the dirt, I went,
That would have been.
I don't know about that.
That would have been extra unnecessary.
I would have liked the evil aspect of it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely evil, but I agree that it was because you know what? It was even more detail. The detail in the animation was even higher than most.
They spent
death
more money
scenes. I was
there
like,
just for
wow,
that.
that. But yeah, I just think putting the two the reporters there right before,
Yeah. Maybe it wasn't their best choice.
yeah, I was like, that is an interesting choice, but
That's interesting. I never even noticed that. But that's
it
interesting.
stuck out to me They're panicked and she's dying.
I'd say though that people wouldn't do that in real life. Though.
They would,
see,
but it was like it wasn't like a genuine freak out. It was like they're like comical,
and they're seen as comic relief. So you see them and you find a little solace in the fact that all right, maybe it's a little not as intense.
No, it is.
I get that.
Yeah. So, but
it is kind of crazy, like thinking of all the other people like getting turned into data. It's like, for the most part, everyone was kind of,
pretty
noble or like at least like a normal way to go
literally
out.
just fades away and has like a moment where he could talk to Yusaku.
A bro moment.
Go doesn't even go. He doesn't even go down either.
Yeah,
like,
he's standing
there,
tall.
and they're like, "How did you survive?" And then
Good point.
Yusaku's like, "No, he's at 0 LP, but like he's still standing up."
It's a good point.
And then he turns and he's like, "It's up to you." Like,
Well, that's. What's interesting is that they left Blue Angel alive long enough for Spectre to trash talk her while she's lying on the ground.
Spectre destroyed her. Yeah.
I was like, why shouldn't she turn to data quick enough?
I know.
Because he had to get in his last line.
I know.
well, then her brother
he had to treat her
he
how
comes all
pathetic
the way
she
in.
was.
The doctor Kogami comes in, traps him, and then she disappears after the doctor.
But that's how I would do it if I was a
He
villain.
literally trash talked the corpse as he walked
Yeah,
out.
that's a bowler. That's the kind of villain I want.
He's insane.
I want
a bowler.
Honestly, like,
insane.
if you do the whole diagram, like, he's way more chaotic evil than Revolver.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, they can
By
step it up a
anyone.
notch. Next time he pulls out his phone, takes a Snapchat of the corpse, I feel like this man is a baller.
That's
I
Jake
love
Paul
it.
level.
Oh God! Oh, right. No. I don't want YouTube to terminate
Rogan,
me.
sorry. Whatever, who gives a shit? Whatever, one of those guys.
And so, well, the
Picture of the corpse.
channel's getting shut down now.
No, that's.
Oh, fuck.
But literally, she was laying on the ground for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Because like her brother comes running in, gets trapped. The doctor comes in, has his whole spiel,
Yeah.
leaves, and then she disappears.
Yeah. It's a good point. It's
Yeah.
like she came in from her 21st birthday and she just that.
Bam!
Wow, fuck.
Too many shots at the bar.
All right.
21
All right. Let's
Let's regroup here.
let's talk about the only thing we really have not talked about so far.
Naoki.
No. Well,
Where is he?
He'll get his time hopefully next arc.
He is enjoying much needed time off.
Let's talk
break.
about
Brown.
really the last episode, the last 2 episodes, the fact that Ignis lied to Yusaku and Kusanagi and hid his memories and was, based off of Playmaker along with the 5 other Ignis based off of the 5 victims. We learned that in 41. We learn in 42. Well, and we just see the duel. Well, I mean, talk about the duel between Playmaker and Revolver, the things you liked, and where you think the show could be headed here. Any theories you have? I mean, this seems to be, with a new opening coming in April, this seems to be the end of the arc. We probably only have 4 or 5 episodes left. So how do you think the third duel, we've had a draw, a Playmaker win, and now another draw. How do you think the third duel was? How do you think the Kogami scene was? All that stuff. Anyone can start.
All right, so Kogami comes in towards the. I'll say that that's at the end of it.
Towards the end. Yeah.
So, the one thing I really liked, or I thought was like well done, is like he's talking. Revolver's telling Playmaker basically, he's like, well, this is actually what happened. Like, these all came from the 6 people, whatever. They're going to destroy the world, basically, because they're AIs with free will and they can do whatever the hell they want. So he's like, this is why we want to stop them. Your Ignis over there has been lying to you the whole time. And then he doesn't even, like, deny it at all. He's like,
He doesn't
he
deny
makes,
it.
like, a stupid noise, and he's like, well, and he's like, I don't really care about the Ignis at all. I'm here to battle and win. And it's just like, all right.
Yeah.
So he literally does not give a shit. And he's like, I thought we were friends. And he's like, we were never friends. I never thought of you as a friend.
I use you as a hostage.
Yeah, he's like, you're a hostage. And he's just like, oh. And you want to feel bad, but then at the same time you hear it talk again, and you're just like, I
That's
like
he's been
Ignis,
planning
you know?
with that goddamn robot in Yusaku's house or whatever.
Oh, Robopi?
Yeah,
Well,
so-
I think he's just trying to romance her.
Yeah, I think that's
man.
I
want you to think about
this
those things.
Whoa. We're
He's
getting
getting
X-rated. Yeah.
then he does the storm thing where his arm comes off, right?
Sure.
And then you realize, like, that was the one moment where I was like, that's almost like a friendship moment where Ignis saves him.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, like, if you go down, I go down. So, like, let's do this together. And then, like, he shields him. He regenerates his arm. They go in there and he gets his thing. And everyone's like, all right, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, he got his monster. It's over. Game over. And then gets him to 850, and he's like, oh, you forgot, like, I could do this too. And then you think after he goes in and his arm gets chopped off, you're like, he's going to go in, valiantly die by trying to win for his cause, and then time freezes and Jesus Christ himself pops out.
Yeah, it was
And it's
straight
his
up
father.
biblical. That was a divine
And
intervention moment. Yeah.
He's like, here, let me heal you. I sacrificed my life for you. Go get this card and win. And then he's like, oh shit, dad died. Gotta go. And just, they both fall to the ground.
If you haven't seen the last 2 episodes, that's what happened.
That's exactly
Is there a better way?
No,
to put
that's
it?
good. I like it.
I mean, yeah, it was.
I liked it though. I really did.
Yeah, I loved it. I thought 42, especially the last episode, was one of the best episodes in a while.
Yeah.
Really liked it.
I mean, so.
Sorry, I explained it so well.
No,
you
it's
haven't.
good. Yeah. I think as far as with Ignis, we've all known for a while that he's been lying, trying to hide certain details of
none of
his
us
past.
have doubted it.
Yeah, like I mean, I think that's sort of the dramatic irony of it is the fact that we know he's up to something, but I have my hunches that Yusaku or Playmaker or whatever has known for a while that like he's figured it out himself, and that's going to be revealed.
Even surprised if him and Kusanagi have been doing some kind of like backdoor thing to dig into his memories without him knowing it. So like they have information that they're not surprised about.
And even if they hadn't found that, I think Yusaku's too like pragmatic to like totally discount the fact that Ignis cut off Faust when he was trying to explain it. Like he wouldn't like that meant nothing. He obviously took note of that. But like as far as Ignis's intentions, I think rather than like maybe Ignis isn't so bad because he saved like Yusaku. I think that was more of this is a symbiotic relationship. We are helping each other just survive. This is nothing. It's all about self-preservation. Neither of us really are friends, but we're just helping each other because we need to continue.
You need each other to live.
Yeah.
Basically.
I don't know what the true intentions of the Cybers and the Ignis.
If there are any.
If there are any. Yeah, because I was saying like this could be just paranoia on the Knights of
Very paranoid.
Yeah, it'd be insane paranoia from the Knights of Hanoi to completely destroy everything electronic, like send out this huge EMP style thing just because they're worried, AI with free will destroy the world. But based on the things Faust has said and Revolver has said, I feel like they may know something that we don't about. What was Revolver? Was it in the recap episode where he called them savages? They expected something out of them, but they were savages.
I think Kogami said that when he confronted Akira. Or Revolver might have said it in 38. Savages is
described them as savages,
Yeah.
which like we haven't seen anything like that. But what did they do that made them savages?
Yeah,
what do they know?
Because he's
what
like,
do they
we
know?
wanted them, we had them for a purpose, like we were building them.
Yeah.
Everything was going well, and we wanted them to be this.
But
they grew so much faster than we expected, and they turned into savages.
He also says they were created to save humanity.
Yeah.
To save
what?
humanity
From what?
from what?
But again, this is the story of every AI. Like, this is exactly what happens in your Skynets, your Ultrons. They're always designed to save the world, and then they get too smart for their own good, and they realize that people are the problem, and then they go to destroy the world and start over.
Right.
It's the same story what's happening. That's a guarantee what happened. There was probably some threat that they were trying to save, and that the bigger threat that became was now these AIs. And that's what happened. So I think, yes, Ignis is being coy about what's happened, but I don't think we should undersell what they are, those 6 AIs. And you could say it's a little drastic what the Knights of Hanoi doing. I don't think it is. I think they know more about the situation than we as an audience, our other main characters, and I think they know that this is a gigantic threat that they want to. This is a risk we have to take. Konami's willing to literally kill himself before he ended up dying anyway to do this with the tower. So
True.
I think it's worth it. If they're willing to make that kind of sacrifice, it has to mean something big.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good
also
point.
willing to take a lot of people out too.
Yeah, because I mean, at this point, it's not even just the web. It's not just VRAINS. It got to the point in this last episode that Kogami actually gave the rest of his life for this to happen.
He's dead.
So he truly believes that this is a cause worth fighting for, and I think that kind of speaks on the level of importance here.
And I think
the gravity of it.
he was when he said like, oh, that he was given the virus or whatever by Soul Technology that put him in a coma, right?
Sure.
They were doing it for money. He sees right there that now this whole technology that's potentially very dangerous could now be worldwide. I mean, talk about expediting the entire thing. Soul Technologies takes advantage of this, wants to make money. They spread this all over the place. Now this AI that's extremely powerful is everywhere.
The literal
instantly.
Skynet situation.
Exactly.
That's exactly, yeah.
So you could understand his fear of that as well. So I get it.
Yeah.
I love that duel. I thought that was great. I think two of my favorite moments in the last 20 or so episodes were when Spectre died with the whole tree fire thing. I thought the animation was stepped up there.
Animation was great.
The level of storytelling and the editing was great. And then having that Konami moment with Revolver was great. I mean, that was fantastic.
I love that moment.
Where me and Caliber disagree a little bit of what actually Yusaku actually heard there. Did he hear his real name, or did he hear really anything? Was that more of like them talking quietly or like an in their head conversation? Because it's the VRAINS. It's not like that couldn't exist, like where Konami could be talking into his headset in that helmet.
Yeah.
So there's mystery what happened there, but I thought that was a great scene. Very Jesus Christ biblical kind of thing. But editing the music of that and the storytelling that makes it more than a show about dueling cards. Like
Yeah, it
that
does make it
adds
more
your emotional
Yeah.
element. So I thought that was great.
Well,
and it humanizes the villain.
Absolutely. Well, Yoshida, who's the main writer for the show, he's writing the Arc 5 manga right now. Yu-Gi-Oh's weird where the manga comes out after the anime. So Arc 5 was
really?
the
I
fifth
didn't know
show.
that.
Yeah, so they don't follow a manga, so that's why it makes it harder. It's all original story where most animes follow a manga. And they the main villains in that show, or the main villain group in that manga, the names are Adam and Eve. So he's someone who's been very enjoyed. He loves the biblical references for some reason. So that's funny that you guys kind of noticed that. Yeah, because it's been apparent in his work. But yeah, I've enjoyed it immensely. I'm very excited to see these next episodes. I guess we'll kind of leave it here. But last words. What do you think the next enemy will be in the next arc? I think that's because we have Soul Tech still looming. We have the whole Cybers and Ignis still looming. They could become enemies. We have this maybe a mystery threat that we have no idea about. Maybe the Knights will still be the main enemy in the next arc. Although I don't really see that happening personally. But what do you think? We'll go around the table. You start.
I'm gonna say it's a mix of two.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I think the Knights of Hanoi are basically done. I think Revolver's gonna still be there. I think he's gonna be more of a character who is just, he kind of assists Yusaku's whole plan to, just end whatever the hell is going on, basically. Yeah. And I think that Soul Tech is there's still going to be connections to Soul Tech on, like, evil shit that's going on. But I think there's going to be some sort of connection to somebody else that is either former Soul Tech or, like, the chess pieces, where it goes beyond just the company of Soul Tech itself. There's, like, something connected to it, but it's going to be someone different.
Okay, okay.
I mostly agree with what he's saying there. Knights and Hanoi are going to be done. I think Revolver will be. I think he'll be one of the good guys in the end because he's been wavering for a while, and even based on the intro, which I think sometimes that kind of is telling.
The opening.
He's one of the few people that kind of has a sequence. In the opening. As far as the big bad villain, I think Soul Tech is sort of trying to tap into forces that they aren't even fully aware of. The AI, I think it'll start with Soul Tech being this villain that we think is going to be the overarching thing, but I think they're going to tap into something far greater.
I like that.
And we've yet to find out what that is.
Yeah, that's very comic booky. So I could
Yeah.
I could completely see that happening. You make another Doctor Strange reference there.
Do it.
But where you could say it like with the villains of that movie, you think they're the villains, but then they're actually going to a higher power that comes later. So I could totally see that actually happening. Pretty much I think the Knights are done. Revolver is going to stick around in some capacity. I think the way he sticks around is in some way Yusaku promises Revolver that I can beat this, we can beat this, so that you don't have to do this whole tower thing. There's another way to stop these AIs, to stop Soul Tech, and that's when it's going to convince him. He's going to put his trust, his faith in Yusaku. So down the line, if you have some kind of interesting thing there where Yusaku fails, then you could turn maybe Revolver back. You could have like a really interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah.
So I think he could survive. It's going to have to do with Soul Tech, and I think they are going to open up what's greater here, which is going to be those AIs and whatever they're about. Maybe they form 6 into 1 or some kind of weird Transformers thing, but there's going to be something there. You said there's only about 4 episodes left or so?
Of this arc, I'd imagine, because we have a new opening definitely coming in April. That could be episode 46 to 48, 49. So, and usually when the new opening comes, that usually symbolizes a new season.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
I just want to know more about those chess pieces. There's
I think we'll
there.
find out soon enough. Probably not this arc. I think if it really is the end of this arc, I think it's giving us just enough time for that confrontation with Revolver's real persona, real person.
Yeah.
Some sort of change of heart, and then to tackle, this Tower of Hanoi thing.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised that Soul Technology is like, assumingly a privately owned company. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow the government comes into this somehow of like,
That'd be interesting.
they have some kind of deal with them that they promise us technology. So like, I think there could be an interesting thing there if you went that route. So that could be like a
Not
villain kind of
far-fetched
thing
at all.
too.
It would be. Another interesting concept of the Knights of Hanoi is if they come to an end, what happens to Spectre, who put everything into the Knights of Hanoi, if he comes back?
Well, he put everything into Revolver.
True, but like,
So then if Revolver
is he gonna have a change of heart?
Well,
He doesn't seem like he's
not
gonna.
gonna-
He's got to
he's-
stay
he's
evil.
gone.
the thing is, he's either gone or it's not that he's
He's such a good character.
It's
it'd be a
not
shame
that
if they waste
he's
him.
evil though. He literally says, he doesn't say I'm loyal to the Knights of Hanoi, I'm loyal to being evil. He says I will fight and I will die for Revolver.
True.
Right.
So
and
if Revolver has a change of heart and says, look, we all know what the true evil is, and it's to get rid of these AIs, but right now we need Yusaku, we need his Ignis to get to them, this is what we need to fight for, I don't think it'd be too far-fetched for him to be like, I mean, it would be an uneasy settling in, but I feel like you could see him kind of turn that way and still be maniacal towards the other people that they come into it.
Yeah.
And that could go one of two ways, because you could split Revolver and Spectre in that case.
You could.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't agree with Revolver's change that you're a sellout. Or if Spectre joins the group, kind of having like this kind of like Avengers kind of pseudo
like
team,
reluctantly.
his interactions with Aoi in that moment would now, assuming she comes back,
Change.
would be very interesting to
Yeah.
see how the two of them work together after he did what he did to her.
Yeah.
Wow, that
So-
very true.
And
I
maybe
think that'd
his
be-
presence will like
That could be
deter
a
Aoi
lot
and
of
his
cool
eyes.
stuff.
Yeah, I'm just. There's a lot of potential.
You know, if down below, if any of the creators, we want us to write the next few episodes.
Yeah,
I'd
let
be
us
down
know.
to write anything.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I think aside from wasting a good character, because he is, it would leave to kill him would leave an interesting thing where if every one of these kids, there was an AI created for every one of these kids, that leaves an AI without a human, attachment. So I think once the Cyberse is found, or if I think that's kind of important to keep him alive, just simply for the fact that there's 6 Cybers or 6 AI in the Cyberse. There needs to be those 6 hosts or whatever you want to call
Why
them.
those 6 kids? What is
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
important
Were
about
they
them?
randomly
So-
picked, or was
Yeah,
there
like there's a
deeper?
lot of questions.
Maybe
there.
the AI...
Well, next episode we could get a lot of
Yeah,
answers.
could
maybe
get a-
the AI goes down if the person goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, if he's completely wiped out, maybe the AI's wiped out, and maybe Ignis will be like we need to save Spectre, and he'll be like, why would we need to do that? And he's like, well, in order to get to them, we need all the people
something
or
like
whatever,
Try to manipulate the
something that
situation.
would get them to bring him back,
Yeah.
even if it's not what they want.
And if they all have free will, are these 6 AI, you would assume they're distinctly different. That they all have their own abilities, their own personalities.
Sure. Absolutely.
That's interesting, adding new characters there as well, if we ever meet them, assuming
Yeah.
we will. So.
And it's also interesting that the AI, who is based off of Yusaku,
Is the opposite of
it
himself.
was the opposite of Yusaku and is hated by everyone. Remember in the first episode, he comes in and he says being hated by everyone has its perks. As if all the other Ignis hate him for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's foreshadowing something that Yusaku's going to go through.
So he's the
wherever-
outsider kind of loner thing.
Yeah,
symbolism
which
you
makes
go there
sense.
too.
So-
Which is
I don't know,
funny
there's a-
because he's saving them right now.
He's saving everyone, yeah. So there's so much we could talk about.
Yeah,
guys.
we can keep going
But
on.
we'll end it here. Hopefully,
Yeah.
again in the summer, in like 8 episodes or so, we will be doing group live reactions because I think that'll be fun, and I think that's something that people would enjoy. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you guys want to promo anything? You guys got anything going on? You want to?
I don't have anything going on.
I mean, I guess I've done it
promo,
before. I'll
do it.
check out my band, Mom Fight. Mom Fight
At Bandcamp.
I think it's what momfightnj at .bandcamp.com or momfight.bandcamp.com. One of those. You could Google it. It's not hard to find. Facebook.
Heavy metal.
Yeah. You could call it that. Yeah.
So I'll link it down below.
Yeah, and I have a channel, Clueless Gamers. If you're wondering, oh, Pete, where have you been? Well, one, real life after college kind of sucks. So that's number one.
I can attest to
and number
that.
two, any videos that I've put up that I was trying to get out reaction-wise have been flagged and taken down. I'm kind of in a fight with WB and the CW shows right now. So if that ever gets corrected, yeah, they'll be back. So there you go.
Fingers crossed.
Pete's giving him the hands.
Trying.
All right.
The glove.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for the support as always. And I'll talk to you all down below. I hope you all have an amazing day.
Thanks. When did you take off the wig? I didn't even notice.
When you went behind the camera,
I told you it was less than 5 minutes in.
I'm glad no one addressed it. We didn't say anything, and that was that.
I didn't like. I acted normal.
As soon as you got up, I was like, I looked right at you as you were doing it.
Too good, man.